Do not underestimate the power of Xbox to completely mess everything up. A $1 trillion company with so much momentum and goodwill behind it. How could it possibly f everything up? Well, if last generation didn't teach you anything, then I don't know what else can. What a week for Xbox, eh? First, it raises the prices of its games, in my opinion, unnecessarily, after basking in the praise of all gamers for their pro-consumer stance. But then, if you thought that was bad, guess what? The Federal Trade Commission comes in and decides to sue Microsoft for its biggest acquisition of Activision Blizzard King. This is not a small thing. As the Washington Post states, this is the most serious regulatory threat to Microsoft in more than 2 decades. This is bad. Very bad. And on the very same day, just when he thought he couldn't get any worse, what happens? We had the Game Awards. And it wasn't a pretty sight for many reasons I'm about to discuss. All this makes Xbox look so weak and feeble, and in almost every metric you can assign to your assessment of the gaming brand. What? Let's get into it. Firstly, the gigantic gut punch in the nucleus of Microsoft. The FTC is suing the company over this ABK deal. All the posturing, all the nice friendly concessions, lip-wristed negotiations, and massive conciliatory attitude towards PlayStation. What did that achieve, huh? PlayStation not even once bothered to even sit on the same table as Microsoft, but instead went bitching to the regulators. Microsoft came back and offered 3 years, and then it offered 10 years for Call of Duty, and then it offered it to everyone, including Nintendo and Steam. And have it all, everyone. Have it all. We are a charity. Smiles galore. And guess what? The deal just got fucking stalled for a very, very long time. A moment of silence for the geniuses that thought the deal was going to be concluded in the summer of last year. Litigation. It's not only expensive, but long-winded. And a transaction of this scale, and with the FTC this bold, who knows when the deal will be done? If it will be done. Is the deal in trouble? Absolutely it is. It might not go ahead at all. And Microsoft, in an industry that is seeing mass consolidation, might be seeing all kinds of opportunities slipping through its fingers, like we saw with Crystal Dynamics, because it's deadlocked. Meanwhile, Sony, tiny but nimble, lacking shame but having all the potency, frolics around in this landscape, grabbing studios here and there. Square Enix. Yeah. Oh, hey, Microsoft, you want some Vaseline? Go buy it yourself, you rich, bloated bastards. And after the announcement that the FTC would be suing Microsoft, Brad Smith, the vice chair and president of Microsoft, what did he say? He said, we have been committed since day one to addressing competition concerns, including by offering earlier this week proposed concessions to the FTC. Whilst we believe in giving peace a chance, we have complete confidence in our case and will welcome the opportunity to present it in court. Give peace a chance. Give peace a chance. What is this? How many times have we told Xbox not to be so kumbaya? Be more ferocious, to have the mindset of the previous father of Xbox, James Allard. May God bless his soul. He's still alive. But when he said he didn't want to stop until he had Ken Kusuragi's resignation letter on his desk, I felt that. That's called fiery resolve, and an appropriate one against a company like Sony, Microsoft. Are you stupid? Have you not seen the way Sony has been operating in the gaming space since it joined it? Jim Ryan got a major carpet burns, crapped out a whole load of bullshit bollocks to the regulators, and did not care how it made him or his company look. Whatever the cost, he wanted to win. I personally would have not forsaken all my pride and dignity like Sony. Maybe. But hey, I'm doing it for a YouTube video, and at least it got them results. So what are you doing now, Microsoft, huh? Finally, have the resolve? Do you have the resolve? Where? What? You gonna have the resolve in the courts? Oh, what about, you know, the actual freaking playing field where everyone is actual playing the freaking game? Are you scared of the FTC? They might They might penalize you. They've already decided to screw you over, you idiots, anyway, despite all your generous donations. So go hard on PlayStation, for God's sake. Why? Because then you avoid situations like this. The Game Awards, where the chosen one, Phil Spencer, gets to sit at the front of the show and watch PlayStation grab award after award after award. Where was Xbox? Huh? Nowhere! Nowhere! Not one single game at the show after a year of shitting not a single AAA idea. And it didn't even sell you hope. It's embarrassing. And look at poor Phil Spencer. He looks so miserable. The guy looks like he's contemplating joining the Taliban, because surely that cannot be as bad as what has unfolded yesterday. Oh, but hey, Xbox paid God knows how much to Ninja to advertise Game Pass on Samsung TVs as he stares you in the face and says you don't even need an Xbox. You basically paid this Fortnite guy millions just to stare at your freaking consumers and say, fuck Xbox.
Starting today, right now, you can play the Xbox app on any Samsung 2021 smart TV.
What an embarrassment of riches for Xbox. So many accolades for PlayStation. Heck, Hideo Kojima came out on stage and showed off actual gameplay for his PlayStation exclusive, not just a vague idea of an experimental game utilizing the power of the cloud. Oh dear. And the only good news for Xbox fans was that God of War didn't win Game of the Year. Can you imagine the turmoil if God of War won? I'm starting to think Jeff Keighley changed the results last minute out of pity for Xbox. All these theatrics and hyperbole gas. It's not so bad. You need to calm down, you silly idiot. Xbox has 2023. It's gonna be great. You'll see. I thought Xbox was going to have so many games that the problem would be you'd have too many events to juggle to show off those games. Yet, in 365 days of anemia and a vague promise of greatness with no actual release dates for games like Redfall and Starfield, I think some of these games coming out in March. Aaron Greenberg, he went on Twitter to say, we have a lot planned to show and share. Shame on anyone who liked this tweet out of anything but pity. I, for one, am so sick and tired of all the talk. It's nauseating. The pressure keeps mounting up on Xbox as a result of its inaction and frailty. The weight of those promises increase even more, and so do the expectations. People, will you be happy with Starfield, Redfall, and Forza Motorsport being the only AAA games being released in 2023 for Xbox? Will you be happy? If your answer is yes, that's the wrong answer. And some of you will instantly say, oh, no, but Sony's 2022 exclusives were all delayed games too. Yeah, big difference. Sony didn't have an entire failed generation and has some degree of consistency and quality. You know what? I'll come clean, yeah? Part of me is glad this is all happening to Xbox, because Xbox has shown from the start that it will only respond to pressure. Give it an inch and it will take a mile by thinking it can coast to victory. That's why I despise the habitual excuse-making Xbox who would put Houdini to shame with their contortions as they blurt out excuse after excuse, followed by advice that demands that we wait for next year. It's time for the sauce to murk Xbox. I'm going to enjoy every single second of that process. You wankers. Why do I have an erection?